Hi, I'm Christina from Hoopla.
Hey, I'm Megan from Southern Branding.
And today we are going to be talking hats. And Megan has some stats that she's going to share on the benefits of kind of incorporating hats as one of your marketing strategies.
I feel like I should have a hat on while we're talking about this.
Are we going to?
Okay.
I'll put one on too. This is one of my favorite hats that a client gave me.
Okay. I got to go camo because, we're in Arkansas.
Right, obviously.
Okay. So, we planned that we were going to talk about hats today, and did a little bit of research just about the different statistics regarding hats in the promotional industry. And it's really very interesting that 3,400 brand impressions per hat. So this hat in its lifespan is going to have 3,400 brand impressions. There's no other type of marketing you can do that's going to get you that many brand impressions. 69% of consumers own headwear. So it's something that's really relatable. All people want it, need it, wear it.
Yeah.
83% of people are more likely to do business with you after receiving a hat. And then 63% of people keep a hat based on how attractive, wearable, likable it is. So all of that kind of ties into, it used to be there was embroidery, like that was what you did, flat stitch embroidery, going across the front of a hat. Yep. And now we have so many other options that are out there available as far as decoration. So you want to just dive into it?
Yes, I'd love to. Okay. Now you took your hat off. Okay, I did my hat. Maybe I'll put some more hats on later.
Okay. So the past probably year and a half, 2 years has been really exciting in the hat industry as far as the different decoration that has become available. Available domestically, where we can turn it here in the US quickly versus it being something that's done custom
overseas.
And takes a while. So just the basic kind of rundown on hats. There's lots of different types of decoration. Here's an example of taking the same logo and doing it two different ways. So this is actually a woven label, very clean. And this is embroidery. Then you've got woven labels. You can do sublimated patches.
Yep.
The sublimated patch is actually, this is not my favorite example, even though it's our logo hat.
Right.
The piece is sublimated. So this is a scene in Arkansas, and we use that as the background on this hat. So that's a sublimated patch.
So one thing about sublimated patches, because I just did a job actually recently for a client, and they had a very intricate circular logo that they had made. And when they had gone to a different vendor at first, and when they gave them a sew out, which is what in the industry we call when someone kind of embroiders a piece of fabric, a backing, to show you what your final product will look like to get your approval. All of the detail was just crudded up on that sew out because there was so much detail. And so they really didn't want to lose anything on that art. And so the solution when you have a lot of detail is to go with sublimation, because you are printing directly on the hat. So you can go really detailed with it. Or the other option, which the solution I had come up with, is I did go overseas and I had a embroidered patch made, because when you embroider the patch directly versus embroidering the hat directly, you can get a lot more detail on the patch versus doing it directly on the hat, because you have that stiffer material.
Absolutely. I'd say you can definitely get a lot of detail with a sublimated patch. You also can get a lot of detail with a woven label as well. This would be an example of a woven label. And again,
really clean.
Going through the can. Very clean. Some of the newer things that have come out that we can turn quickly domestically for you is an example of a bamboo patch.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so the bamboo patches look really, really awesome.
And then one embroidery that I love that I also want to show.
Ooh, the 3D.
I love The 3D. I just think it looks so retail, and it's
Really, we're loving on some outdoor cap here.
so,
But I love the combination of doing,
yeah.
of doing 3D and flat stitch and
Yep.
doing a combination of both.
Yeah.
I think it looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
You see that it looks really collegiate when you do it as well. So that's also a combination of a flat stitch and a 3D.
Yep.
Also, we can do rubberized patches.
I love rubberized patches. Yeah, those look so cool. Show it to the side, maybe show it. Yeah. Yeah, that's such a cool technique.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Kind of rubberized patch. And then also we can do bamboo patches. So a bamboo look to a patch.
Mm-hmm.
That looks really fun.
And then also the faux leather that outdoor cap's been coming out with lately. It's really fun because you can do different colors. You're not just stuck with the typical black through brown shades. You can do that teal, you can do that red, and kind of have those different finishes. Yep.
All these different colors and patches. And so what these are then lasered, and then it reveals underneath. So like this is one of my favorite ones. This is kind of a metallic look to it. So it's a brown faux leather, and then it's a metallic kind of goldish bronze underneath. That just looks really, really great. This is another clean example of that with a black faux leather, and then the reveal on it is silver.
Yep.
So there's so many different, like this looks very corporate. It's stylish and still very corporate. So this is blue with a silver, and they're just so like you can just all of those that we just showed you can be done within a 30-day time period.
So let's segue real quick into having that kind of more custom program and what you need to do that. And it changes with suppliers, but I think me and Megan both kind of love using it, the same supplier when it comes to like custom hats. Their pricing is really unbeatable for the quality, in my opinion. You know, you can do a fully embroidered dad hat like this, depending on the lowest quantity, probably at around $10 a hat. The quality is great. The turn time is, less than 30 days, around 30 days. But if you do want to go custom, and let's show some examples of that, because when we say custom, there's a minimum of 144, I believe, to do the custom program. And to play with the pricing, you have to give at least 60 to 90 days, or is it 45 to 90 days, depending on.
Well, I think now it's even longer. So this is something, this is something that you want to plan out months in ahead. But if you're doing something truly custom, you have the time to do it. It's something that you are strategically planning and you're building into your calendar. So this is Milwaukee. And this is an example of, this is actually lasered into the fabric, their little icon. And then on the inside of it,
custom taping.
Custom taping.
The underbill. Let's show an underbill.
Sure. And then also a custom inside woven label. Something on the inner bill we could do. Oh, this is a cool one. So this is Buffalo Wild Wings. So that's a woven label. All of this is custom. So this hat does not exist.
Yeah.
Every single color is chosen. The piping color is chosen. The eyelet color is chosen. They've actually, if you can see that, done right here, that's totally custom. And then the inside bill, this is their hot sauce. So like, how cool is that? You can get totally creative. And then they've got a patch here, an embroidered patch on the back.
And I just want to call out a couple things. One is going completely custom like this does not cost an arm and a leg. It's time. It is time that you need. That's why Megan said you need to be strategic. If you know you want a hat in your plan, be smart and give us those 90 days to really give you a wow product for a very similar price to what you would pay to just, buy a Richardson and have it embroidered locally or whatever the case may be.
Well, yeah. And I mean, the other part with this is hats are a great opportunity to have commemorative hats, to have collectible hats, to have like a limited edition, every year you're getting a new hat, like you're doing it something new for an event. So it's a great value add for that. This is actually from a 30-day program, but this is screen printed on here. This is a woven label. And then what else do we have going on here? And then we've got a little woven label as a tag. So it's just, there's endless possibilities.
So one thing I do want to say to anyone listening out there that's interested in doing hats, give us time. The more time, and it's really with any product, I would say, but hats especially, the more time you can give your brand partner, the more creative we can get for a very similar price. It's when you come to us and say, hey, I need something in 2 weeks, you're limiting your options. You're not being able to be as creative. It's going to cost more. So if, and I think we've talked about this in a prior show. If you have a marketing calendar, set some time with your brand partner, go through it, and we will plug it into our calendar so that we can be proactive on your part and you can set it and forget it. And we will.
Absolutely. And the benefit also, in addition to that, of working with, when you have a brand partner, promotional products firm that you're working with, we have access to all of this. Like, you're not supposed to know about any of this. It's not like you can go shopping online to fully customize like that. It
would take you weeks upon weeks to be able to source and figure it all out, compared to coming to us, telling us what you're interested in, giving us your art, and us coming back to you.
We present you with concepts,
a good, better, best concept, timelines, pricing. And you get to look like the hero when you show it to the rest of your team for approval.
Yeah, so I think the point about the planning on it is just a really great point, though, because it is super easy to, you have those with uniform programs, that sort of thing, where you're just doing basic embroidery, whatever. And when you're doing it on a quality hat, like that's totally fine. It serves purpose, it serves function. But when you're wanting to do something that's really going to stand out, that's going to be a little bit more unique. And again, so 63% of people, they're keeping the hat based off of the attractiveness of the hat. So it's that differentiating factor of how cool is it? How unique is it? How, different is it? That's going to set it apart. And that's where, like, the planning comes in place. And, we can take you through that.
So I think this is a good segue to talk about, how do you pick that perfect hat that's going to reflect your brand? And so a couple of things, because I've been in the industry now for almost 3 years, 2.5 years, but I come from the buying end. And I think there's a couple ways to approach it. But one way I kind of approach it is, what's my favorite hat? Like, what hat do I want to wear? But really the other way to approach it is, what is the demographic of the people you're trying to reach? Are you reaching mostly men that are, let's say, in more of a blue collar industry? They're going to want, I would say, probably more the trucker hat. Now, if you're kind of doing a mixed demographic of men and women, I would say a dad hat. A dad hat's super versatile. And then if you're doing like an outdoorsy type of demographic that's kind of always hiking or traveling, like a packable hat that you can pack and squish up, but kind of has that, kind of retail look. So I think those are kind of the questions that you can start with.
Totally. And I can, just tell you based off of the sales volume and trends, so Outdoor Cap is here in Arkansas. Most people, when they are specific about hats, they're coming to you asking for, I want an Outdoor Cap hat. I want this Richardson hat. I really like this Cap America hat. And hats are pretty individualized.
Yes.
People, like what they like, which is great. This for a very long time was Outdoor Cap's top selling hat. It's full cotton twill hat, totally unstructured. And then is
that hat referred to as a dad hat?
It is referred to as a dad hat.
Because some people don't know that. When I say, I think you'll want a dad hat, they're like, what is a dad hat? That's what a dad hat is. What a dad hat is.
Then this for forever was their top selling hat. It's the trucker mesh back type of hat. And then Richardson came along and had this phenomenon with the 112 hat. which just I don't know how, like their marketing is brilliant, I guess, because everybody wants this hat.
Yeah.
And so then everybody else responded to it. So now, we have those options from everyone else as well. So this is the same, guys. This is the same hat, just made at a different place, right?
Yeah.
Same thing here.
Yeah.
So there are alternatives, because right now it's almost impossible to get this hat. So if you're married to this style and this is what you really want, then we can get you that same look, same style, just made in a different place. And so this now is actually Outdoor Cap's top selling hat.
And I will say another thing, because we are both fans of Outdoor Cap, and so I usually do use them for everything. They have been slower in production, and stock has been an issue. I know they're working through that, but so is everyone in the industry. But one thing I do love about Outdoor Cap is they help with virtuals. And then once you place the order, they do one whole pre-production sample, send you a photo, and have you approve it before full production begins. And if you like, if you have time, we always say, please give us time. If you have the time, they will mail the sample to us, to you, so that you can physically see it before the full production begins. And so it's so important to just give us the time. I know that's not always possible, but if you do know it's in your strategy, let's work on it now. Let's talk about it now.
Yeah, if you know that you have events coming up in the fall, if you know that, this might be something that you want to do as an employee gift, like this is the time to really start talking about it. Like Christina said, everybody is struggling with inventory right now. We are seeing things slowly get restocked, but a lot of the stock is spoken for as well. So now's the time when you want to go in, start doing different concepts, try to get something creative going so that we can be in line for when the inventory does arrive.
Yeah, I agree.
Custom. Yeah.
I did ask a question on my Instagram recently and asked what people wanted to talk about. So one person said, what's good swag, what's bad swag, and how do you tell the difference? And so we kind of went into that on our first episode, which was like an hour long. So we'll have to revisit that, and maybe we'll revisit that in July, because I really want to focus on one of our sessions in July being about ordering for the holidays, because I think it's very important, especially this year. Don't wait till October. Do not. You want to actually order. If you could start in July or August, you will get the best stuff, less stress. It's imperative this year that if you want to do holiday gifts, you plan early, because it has been a mess.
Yeah, if you were that person last year that in November you were like biting your nails waiting on your holiday gifts to arrive, we need to be doing that by the latest August this year.
I agree.
The delivery, the freight, UPS, FedEx, they are not guaranteeing anything currently. And there's only so much control.
I had a nightmare. I had a nightmare incidents with FedEx. They're like, unless you pay overnight, they're not guaranteeing it at all anymore.
That's right.
It could take 2 weeks. They don't care unless you pay for overnight, which is thousands of dollars.
It definitely can be. And the unfortunate situation that a lot of our supplier partners are in is they don't know right now who is going to show up to work and who is not. So on a daily basis, so on a shift by shift basis. So while something may be scheduled for production and we think it's going to be a 5-day production time, that may slow down, and days added on to that if there's not the staff there to actually produce it. And that's something that's totally out of all of our control right now. So we really are, event dates are, something that we dream about and can't guarantee. And, it really does take a lot of planning right now to be able to execute.
So I will say, and maybe we need to do a show on this. I will say, I do have tricks up my sleeve, just as you do, Zip It, Sure Ship. Those are all programs that different suppliers offer that kind of give you that 24-hour turn to send you products, but that means you waive your proof. And I have little tricks around that if we have the time, requesting a virtual and kind of basing it off of that. Also, like I don't know who you use for your displays, but I use Showdown, and I've had to stop using them the last couple weeks, even though they have the best quality in the business, because their turnaround time, just as you were saying, they don't have enough people in the manufacturing department to fill the orders, to create, to make the products. And so I've had to,
this is not an issue that's unique to our industry. It's happening everywhere. So I think for the most part, it's just speaking for the experiences we've had, our customers have been very understanding when we are totally open on, because it's our job to educate. And so educate and advocate. And so we have to educate our clients on the front end of like, look, this is what the realistic expectation is right now. And then we advocate on the supplier end for our clients. And that's what our job is. But even on some of the rush options right now, if there's not that order entry person available to enter it, it may be a couple of days before that order gets entered for that rush. So there are no guarantees right now is really the bottom line.
It's been horrible. And I think the last several weeks I have been, kind of what you said, educating my clients. But I almost feel like some of my clients, especially the newer ones, thought it was like a sales tactic, me saying, I really think you need to order as soon as possible, like now. And now I've just been very straightforward, especially with new clients. I'm telling you, half the orders I'm working through are out of stock or having production delays. This is not a sales tactic. If you need this by a certain date, I need this ordered like tomorrow. Like I've been more straightforward about it, but I think like it for me, it sucks, especially with the newer client to say, we don't have the time. Like, but then if I try to help them out, and then I look bad because something's happened, like, we get an email from the supplier saying, oh, sorry, I know we said our production timeline was 7 days, but now we're increasing it to 14. You're just out of luck. And then I have to be the messenger for that. And I don't know if the newer clients, the clients that I've worked with know how I roll. So I know they know that it's not me. But like the newer clients, sometimes I'm thinking, are they understanding that this is not typical? This is not me. It's something out of my control and I'm just the messenger. So I
think that's a worry that we have because, you and I are a lot alike in that, like, I don't want to disappoint anybody. I hate cringe telling a client no, that we can't do something.
Me too.
Like it kills a little piece of me because I want to be that go-to source.
But the amount of stress when you say yes, even though deep down, it's going to be like a Hail Mary on it.
That's right.
The amount of stress I go through to do it and then possibly still disappoint. My husband said, it's not worth it, honey. You need to just tell them, I can try for you, but I can't guarantee it. And if you can't accept that, I can't do this for you because it's out of my control.
Well, I think the majority of people are understanding of that. And then those that aren't, like, this is not unique to you or I. It's the entire industry. It's all industries. It's happening everywhere. So that is of comfort. Like, they're not going to find it somewhere else either. Anyone else is going to have the same issues. And I think that the long-term fallout over the next year really is going to be very interesting with clients and the different opportunities that come up. I think that we will all lose clients. I think we're also all going to gain clients. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity out there within the industry because it's a big world shakeup. That's where we're at.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to end this with a question.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it lighthearted this week. What if you could choose one kind of food to eat the rest of your life? What would it be?
Pasta. Italian. Oh yeah, but good, fresh, like homemade pasta.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All kinds.
I would say for me, it would be Japanese food. I'm half Taiwanese, but I would pick Japanese food because it has a little bit of everything. If I'm in the mood for the sushi, if I'm in the mood for the yakisoba, the ramen, the dumplings, like it kind of has it all. So I would say Japanese food.
Okay, there you go.
Well, we'll have to figure out what our next week's topic is about. We'll have to talk about that. But if you have something you want us to discuss,
let us know.
Southern Branding or Hoopla Boise, and let us know.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Bye, everyone. All two people.